Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast.
Hello. I pressed play without even noticing that I was pressing play. Here I am, in all of my emergency weather preparedness. I'm just kidding. Oh man. I was doing another video and I was like, I need to take a 10-minute break and just reset. I was like, no, I don't want to take a break. I need to keep going. So here I am. So I'm a little bit real. So I have a candle for us. So, you know, just settle in. If you're new here, you may be like, what in the heck? But we are here to talk about the eclipse sandwich and the energies over the next 2 weeks. So I'm recording this on Saturday, March 23rd. And it's right before the Libra lunar eclipse. And we're going to be talking about the energies from this point forward all the way till the total solar eclipse on April the 8th, which is the, you know, the other big kahuna. I think this whole energy between now and then is like the big wave. And I keep smelling this candle because I just got these candles the other day, and in my vibe that it's always Halloween / autumn Samhain somewhere, I've got my little guy. So settle in. If you're new here, settle in. See if you vibe with our tribe. If you've been here for a while, then you know how we roll at TLC for the Soul, and it's just like, you're just going with it. We're just jumping right in this time. I'm going to wrap us all in love light and light love, and invite in the guides who overlight TLC for the Soul. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, and a cast of many others who like to play with me here in the astral realms. So I went to put this little guy away when Samhain, Halloween season, autumn season was over, and I just couldn't do it. So he's always on my altar space, and you will find him on the Almost Dailies altar space. If you check those out, our daily shorts, well, almost daily shorts on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So then I went to the store and I found Harvest Spice candles on clearance for this whole big pack for like $1 and $1 something. It was sweet vanilla and pumpkin with hints of cinnamon and clove. And you know, I've been still watching Sabrina and all these Halloweenish kind of shows. I am a little wicked. That's that song. Okay, so let me just get myself going here. So you may want to light a little candle. Does he show up? Oh yeah, he's there. Look, he's super cute. Oh, he's glowing like a little jack-o'-lantern. So I pulled in some cards, and I want to talk about the next 2 weeks with everybody. We did a pick a card, a very long pick a card about the eclipse energies and what they're bringing in. But this little eclipse sandwich, I was kind of curious about it because, you know, where does Libra fall in your chart? Where does Aries fall in your chart, which is the sign of the total solar eclipse? And thinking about, let me push this out a little. Why does this look so? Where do these energies fall in your chart? What houses are these signs in? For me, Aries is in my first house. Libra is in my 7th house of relationships. Its first house is about self. And, you know, then you'll kind of get a gist for what areas of your life are going to be most impacted by what's to come here. We've got this Mercury retrograde starting on April the 1st, but we're already in the shadow of the Mercury retrograde shadow. So I've asked the guides to help form my lips into the words that you need to hear right now. Where do you want me to start? I'm calling it the eclipse sandwich because it'll be the energies between the two eclipses. So we're not really looking out beyond that, but it looks like Spirit is willing to talk to us about those energies in that in-between time. So I'm going to grab my deck, Spring Fling, and just see where they want me to start. Oh, well, the card just flew across the floor here. Oh, waxing, what is it attacking? Waxing moon phase, take action. That is a message that we have been very clearly communicating to many of you. So it looks like, I'm sorry for all of the hair fluffing. It's just a thing. I just want my hair to be longer. And so I keep trying to like coax it to grow faster. So if that bothers you, then I may not be the guru for you. I'm talking about the people. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, you're like, what in the heck? You can join us on YouTube and you can see me do all the hair fluffing you want and play with our magical jack-o'-lantern. Oh, look, he's so cute. Okay. Take action. So I find that quite interesting. So it is not a time for sitting back. And I do think that is, I just heard another way shower kind of mention this too, that even though Mercury retrograde is coming up, this is not a Mercury retrograde to sit back. We've done all the reflecting with this, what seemed like interminable, like a really long period of Pisces energy of reflecting and all that, you know, Mushu Gai Pan. Why is that even coming up? I don't know. But now is the time to seize the brass ring. And it's so interesting because my phone holder has, my phone case has a little like gold loop, like a gold, it looks like a brass ring that I can use to like hang it from stuff if I want to. And the brass ring is sticking out, just like when you're riding, is it the calliope, the horses, and when I was little, we did that. We rode the, whatchamacallit, the merry-go-round, and there was a brass ring, and you were supposed to like try to catch it as you went by on your little horse, but since I was too small and too scared, I didn't do it. So maybe there's these metaphors already coming out, but it's like, and the other thing that came up today too about recording this show is Spirit's like, it's March 23rd, it's March 23rd. And I was like, yeah, it's March 23rd. And I was like, holy crap. That was the day I started at my corporate job at the mutual fund company back in March 23rd of 1992. And so March 23rd always sticks with me because that was my anniversary date. And so it would have been, did we say Spirit was like 30? I would have, if I had stuck there and not branched off on this path, this would have been my 32-year anniversary with Capital Group. Oh my gosh. So I did take the big leap of faith in the first week of July, freedom codes for sure, right? The week of July the 4th, to leave the corporate world after, who knows, however many years it was then. And I've been, working on this for a while now. I mean, I was on I opened up before that, but anyway. So take action. So this is not going to be a Mercury retrograde. And why am I talking about Mercury retrograde? Oh, Mercury retrograde is kind of in the middle of this eclipse sandwich too. We're in the shadow. The official retrograde starts on April the 1st. And that next eclipse doesn't come, the total solar doesn't come until April the 8th. So trust where you're at. I found it kind of interesting because Texas, where I've lived for a big, huge chunk of my life, I left there in 2022 and Spirit had me come up here to good old North Dakota, which it's end of March and we have a blizzard warning for this weekend. We're supposed to have a blizzard the next couple of days. That's our integration time. But yeah, the line of that eclipse is going right through where I was living in New Braunfels, right outside of Austin, Texas. So I find it interesting that I'm not there to be in the totality. I don't know why I find that. I think it's because, like, I don't know why I find that interesting. It's going to come into play here somewhere else. All right, let's get one more card. This is Modern Love Tarot. What else about this eclipse sandwich do folks need to be aware of? Well, duh, the moon. It's the moon card. But this moon card is a little different. Well, it's slightly different, but the lady laying on the ground on her back with her hands over her heart, almost like corpse pose, but like there are two wolves howling in the background at the moon. But it's not corpse pose. It's that Egyptian mummy pose. Yeah. So big energies coming to a close. And I would say not just this lifetime, but other lifetimes as well. I've seen Egypt come up quite a bit. So maybe since Egyptian times, you've been doing some big old juicy soul work, and cycles are closing out. So it's many cycles closing out, many lifetimes after much karmic balancing being done. It looks like you get to move forward on your journey, that the moon is kind of releasing you to take action. Give me another deck. Look at me, I'm like, just throw a bunch of decks. This is the Sword of Light Oracle by Radley Valentine. Let's see what Archangel Michael has to say about this eclipse sandwich. And this just feels like a good old, like, down and dirty, like, pull some cards and throw out the information. I don't know why. Oh, I had this card. This was the card that came out earlier personally. So trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. And the bottom is shown, the deck has flipped itself up to me. It says, there we go, put your creative energy into action. Archangel Gabriel, joins me to spark your creativity, help you communicate your vision, and motivate you to create something beautiful. And I would expand that a little bit to say, we're not just talking here about creative projects. It can be creative projects, like I need to get my butt moving and finish recording the audiobook for Kyanite Fairy Wing, because months can be gone and I've only got chapters 1 through 3 out there. So that's one thing I need to work on. But I would invite it to say that it also has to do with the areas that are being most activated by these eclipses. So Aries, the first house, is all about the self. So take action anywhere that has to do with yourself, upgrading your own personal energy, doing things for you, whatever that looks like for you. This time, I think this time between these two eclipses is this time to, like, it is a reflect, in a sense that it's like, is there anything I want to do differently from what I'm already doing now? So, like, for me, I've come to the end of this workout program where I've been doing a lot of core healing around the core of my body. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to go take this further now and maybe do some weight training or something like that. Or get, do it at home, or go to the gym is right around the corner. Join the gym and do some weight training there or something. So I feel like I want to just take a step up and do a little bit more there. And then just for my own personal well-being, there's things that you can always do to upgrade yourself, be it your physical appearance, your body, like your immunity was coming up earlier. Your immunity might be a time of year. Spring is sprung here in the Northern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, it's a time to up your immunity practices. You may be guided to change supplements or do something a little bit different with the current, is it regimen or regime? No, regime is something else. The current regimen you're already doing. So just pay attention to those nudges, in terms of your health. I know here what happens is fall comes and all the grasses and all the prairie grasses and stuff die, but then the snow comes right on top of that. And then when the snow melts, it's as if those things were just preserved. And so all their little spores and everything are there. And I know, like, for my dog, every year around this time, she starts jumping around in all that really dry grass from the year before. And she has all sorts of allergic reactions. Her ears are super itchy and all this. And you can't touch her. The only way you can touch her to put any kind of, like, medication on her ears or anything like that is to give her a sedative and then put a muzzle on her, and then you could do that. Otherwise, you can't get near her. Like, she bit me the other day in the hand because she thought I was going to do, it's the tone of voice. There's a little bit of PTSD, but it was the tone of voice and something, I say something in a certain way that reminds her of a very bad experience she had when she was a puppy at the vet. And if I go to that tone of voice, then right away she tries to bite. So I can't get to her ears. And I'm certainly not going to give her a sedative and a muzzle every single day, like to put, I'm like, well, your immune system, that's what I told her this morning. I'm like, your immune system, I'm looking at her because she's over there. Oh, she's looking at me. Her eye, oh, it's so freaky. She's having a dream, so her eyes are open, but her eyeballs are up in her head. I told her, well, your immune system's just going to have to take care of itself then. And we did take her to the vet. Why am I on this vet tangent? I'm like, just go and talk. I did take her to the vet last time, and she had to be very heavily sedated, and it was just so, I don't know. I'm like, what? I don't know what we're going to do about that. Building trust. We're trying to build trust building, and we're going to have to go deeper, I think. I got to go deeper into my working with animals thing. All right, let's get back on where we are on track. All right, so just pay attention to the guidance you're getting around your own personal well-being. I know what I was going to say. The other thing, creative energy into action. The first eclipse that is in the house of Libra. That is the house of balance. That is the house of relationships, divine partnerships, soul connections, romantic partners. And just so happens that it is in my 7th house, which is the same house. Romantic partners, relationships, soul contracts, changing. So if you're guided to take action, communicate, spark your vision, motivate you to create something beautiful. Maybe you're being motivated to create a new relationship with somebody, to take action towards somebody you've had your eye on. Maybe you're the person in the receptive mode and you're still holding space for that person to come in. I don't know, but it looks like there is some energies coming along during this eclipse sandwich period to help you get off your bum and, I'm going to call it bum now, bahookies. So I was like, what do I want to call? Get off your bum and get moving towards some of these things. So, and they're like, the guides are like, don't beat yourself up. If you wanted to take action on some of these things before and you just didn't feel like you were able to, you didn't feel like it was the right time, something else got in the way and came up and you had to set that to the side, whatever that is, don't be hard on yourself because planets and points and charts and all that had to align. Especially if it's having to do with soul contracts, be it romantic or not. Things ending and things beginning, things had to align before you could move forward. So just see it from the higher perspective that if you couldn't do whatever you wanted to do in the past, you felt like you were stopped, you felt like you weren't good enough, you felt like, was the time ever going to be right for me? Quite possibly the thing was you were blocked for a reason, okay? You had more clearing to do, or for some of us that have been hearing this message about you're ready since winter solstice and possibly even before that, you just had to wait for the planets to align for these certain things to pop off. So just go easy on you and you're just doing the best you can do in this 3D world. All right, let's get another message. This is from the Dungeons and Dragons Tarot. I like the little guidebook to this, and this is a very springy, summery deck. Any other messages for this eclipse sandwich? I am sounding very... I remember, okay, we're talking about Capital Group. When I first started there, I started as in their phone center, helping people helping people with their mutual fund accounts. It was a call customer service part of the company. Yeah, people would say I'm remembering Mercury retrograde. I remember people would say like, oh, your voice is so soothing. Where are you from? And it triggers certain people in different ways. But can I meet you after work? No. Oh my God, I'm being so silly. But I remember people would ask that and I'd be like, oh, I'm from all over. because they'd say, "Where are you?" And I'd be like, we had different offices throughout the country. We had like 4 different offices in the call centers in the United States. And I would be like, well, I'm in South Texas, but I'm really kind of from all over, and I've lived, in all these different places or whatever. And they're like, well, you don't sound like you're a Texan. And I'm like, it's an amalgamation of many different places, right? I could go walk into a British accent because I was born in London. But, oh my God. But we started out in the call center. Yeah, and I remember even back then, people were like, oh, your voice is so soothing. So where is this going? I have no idea. Oh my God. I think this is here to just kind of also let you know, like, the next 2 weeks, it doesn't have to be so heavy. It doesn't have to be so daunting. If this is like some new thing coming up that you are aware, like, oh, I really wanted to start this thing, and now dun, 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 the thing is here and I'm supposed to do it. And it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to go back into my shell. It's like, just make the thing a game, whatever it is. Make it an adventure, a treasure hunt. Shameless plug for Patreon. Right now in the Inner Sanctum, we are using Kyanite Fairy Wing and another book that is not mine, but I love the Legendborn book, to do like an adventure treasure hunt / thing having to do with freedom codes. So just treat it like an adventure. You only live this life once. And you can tell by the fact that I would have been some company for 30-something years that it's not my first rodeo. I've been on this planet quite some time. That was not my first job. I had several other jobs before that. I was there for almost 10 years before that. So, it's not my first rodeo. I'm not getting any younger. So you may be having these like, I'm not getting any younger. What's going to happen with my life? What's going to happen with my life now? I'm in the thank God, am I channeling you guys? I'm in the final seasons of my life. What is about to happen to me? And it's like, you serve as long as you're willing to serve, okay? And I love them so much. Toya and Robert Fripp. I think they do many different little videos because they're both, famous people. I mean, she's a famous singer. She's been around a really long time, like me. And Robert Fripp, same thing. It was with King Crimson and some other stuff. And they're married, right? And they've been married ever since they were very young, like in their 20s or whatever. And they have and Toya's got her channel, and they come on and they do Toya and Robert's upbeat moments, and I love it. I just don't know what it is. I love them because they're older couple. So I think it's kind of like you're never too old for your dreams to pop off. If you're still here, then you still got the chance to make it happen, right? And so she is in her 60s, going to be late 60s, and he's in his 70s, and they have like stuffed unicorns, and they have the best like upbeat moments together. Their relationship is just super. I'm like, man, that's what I want, the magical moments, and they love each other so you can just see it in his face whenever he looks at her. And I don't want to get emotional, so I'm going to stop talking about that. I'm going to stop talking about them. Okay. King of Coins. I do like to read this book. So we're going to read from the King of Coins. This is the next thing you need to be aware of in your Eclipse sandwich. Where's this King of Coins? My eyesight's... Oh my God. My eyesight. I need my glasses. No. All right. Freaking King of Coins. Where is it? This is not, because if you're watching this, you're going to see the print in this book is like teensy tiny. I need my readers. No. All right. King of Coins. Oh, now my eyes are all blurry. Steward, trash, translate, and wealth. Okay, so this says, all hail the kings of compost. The shambling mounds root around sewers, trash heaps, back alleys, humus, and duff. Every corporeal form must wane, and the shambling mounds are trusted with managing each magnificent mold. What is this? There's so much wealth in waste. You notice all the things that hide from the rest of the world. Your wisdom runs deep. Your worth precedes life and extends far into death. Lucky you, your kingdom is a pile of trash. Sit back and relax and enjoy the sunset. And this is the King of Pentacles. And I just like, oh, what does this have to do? It is enjoying your kingdom. because you've worked hard for it. And right now my kingdom is, why is the light so like, seems like it's dark. Is that blizzard already coming? It's supposed to be here late tonight. It's getting cloudy. And we're talking blizzard, like 1.5 feet of snow and 50-mile-an-hour winds. We're not talking about like snow twinkles and like light breezes. So I'm like freaking out a little bit on that. But no, I'm not freaking out. We've been through this before. I'm not freaking out about it. Take that back. I'm not. I'm fine. I'm a little miffed, but I do find it quite interesting that it's coming in right as this eclipse comes in, meaning everybody needs to take a pause. Not just me, not just you, but it's like this opportune time for people to take a pause, because this storm is supposed to be Sunday and Monday. And so there's this initial like pause after this Libra eclipse, where you can maybe sit back and reflect on your kingdom and how more friggin' reflection, right? How you built it so far. My kingdom right now for me is like my internal juicy goodness is my kingdom right now. How hard I worked to be this me that you're seeing on camera. And I was just doing a video for someone personally, like a one-on-one video. And I said, you know what? The me that you see here is the me I am pretty much 24/7. I don't put on a facade for the camera. This is pretty much who I am. This is pretty much the energy I operate in. But this juicy, good, high vibiness didn't happen overnight. It took many, many years to clear and practice and work with my energy and work with freedom codes and bliss codes and new Lemurian light codes and dragon energy and all the energies I work with, clearing my karma, clearing my chakras of all these lifetimes of stuff. I'm holding up this moon card with this Egyptian reference again, if you're listening to this, to get here, to face you now and be able to be. Does that mean I still don't get triggered? No, I still do. I was triggered earlier. I was telling this person this other video. I was like, nope, I was triggered earlier, but I know how to deal with it now. I know how to be like, okay, triggered, feel that feeling like, and be like, oh, triggered, self-awareness, clear that energy, send that do my little routine that I do to clear the energy and cut the cords to the situation and move on. And then we're done with it, in a matter of minutes, rather than sometimes the 2 or 3 days it might take for me to get over some triggering situation like that. That's my kingdom now, my inner peace, serenity, the fact that I can be in what I call bliss codes. Like, to me, I feel like this is my bliss codes when I'm just like, everything is magic and everything's, yeah, right now it's great, the energy, and I'm working with it, and I'm working with the dragon fire, and it's pushing me and helping me to like get through the things that I want to get through today, create all these videos and do all these things, because I've been pushing it hard in terms of my divine masculine for the past couple of days now. And so I'm going to need that break over the next couple of days to reintegrate these energies coming in with the eclipse, as well as to refill my cup. So if there's not a Bringers of the Light Sunday, the 24th, don't be surprised. Spirit's probably going to have me take the day off. So sit back, relax, enjoy the sunset. I like how there's so much wealth in waste. And he's around, again, he's like this little creature in this card. If you're listening to this, you're like, what? It's like this little Dungeons and Dragons creature. I don't know all the Dungeons and Dragons creatures, so I can't name them all, but shambling mounds. He's around all this fruit and nuts. Fruit and nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Oh, Joy's got nuts. Oh, am I going to get some sort of claim? All right, let me just read from a Kyanite Fairy Wing, because I feel like this is a very broad about the next 2 weeks, this eclipse sandwich. I'm intuitively filing through the pages. If you're listening to this, and Spirit says read the left-hand side of the page. This is page number 72. I have to kind of start over here. I have an idea for the perfect place for you. Kyanite was forming a plan as she spoke, trying to tap into universal wisdom to assist in getting them safe. We can get there pretty easily, and the people there will just love to have you. Now, I know it's not the most comfortable place for you. Oh, great. This is next 2 weeks. But the Wraith will never look there. And both Lilac and Onyx couldn't take it, and at the same time, they both blurted out, "Where is it, Kyanite?" "Oh, sorry, I was going on, wasn't I?" She said excitedly. "You see, this plan is so perfect. I just got excited." Oh. So they agree on a plan together. Kyanite, lilac, and onyx. So kyanite and lilac they work together. Onyx is like kyanite's love interest, and they're trying to hide onyx because he saw something that he shouldn't have seen, and now there's this wraith that's after him trying to kill him. And so they come up with a plan to help keep him safe and get him somewhere. And so she says, "Promise me, Onyx, you will do exactly as we ask of you. No complaining and complete trust in our plan. Do you promise?" Kyanite said, really hoping he would give in and let her take charge. Okay, here's what I see there. I see that your guides might be stepping in. I just said this earlier. Your guides might be stepping in to push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. Things you might have needed to take action on in the past that you felt like you couldn't for whatever reason. You knew you weren't good enough. You didn't have the time. There was some thing standing in your way. To whatever it is you wanted to do, the planets and the things have aligned now. And now you have to be ready to be ready. If your guides call you into action, this is what I have been saying over how many shows. If you're supposed to be somewhere at a certain time and do something, then you better darn well do it. Like put the trust and faith that your guides have got your back on whatever this, putting air quotes around this, whatever this is. And if you're guided to take action and do something, if your guides push you a little bit out of your comfort zone, know that you are ready. You've been being ready to be ready for quite some time now. So you're ready to be ready. Your guides might come in during this little eclipse sandwich time and do a little niggling nudge to get you going and take action on whatever it is. Because I think you may feel like, oh, it's just another one of those times where I'm supposed to do something and something else is going to come along and pull me away from this other something I'm supposed to be doing. And your guides are like, not this time, okay? So you're going to have some trust in your guides to take action if they call you to take action. All right, let's get one more card from Spring Fling. This eclipse sandwich. The Hierophant. I mean, if you can look at this card, this is just what we've been talking about, this higher power. In this case, this card is a cat. But these two people down below, I mean, if you're a twin flame, if you're on the twin flame journey, I mean, this is a card where something is coming in to unite two people as one. I mean, it's two people basically look like they're Siamese twins with that giant heart in the middle. I mean, if you need a confirmation, if you're one of those people watching and you're like, maybe this wasn't meant for me. Yeah, this is your confirmation that I'm talking to you about this taking action thing. Yeah, because the bottom of the deck is clarity. So just ask for clarity from your guides and just trust. Trust yourself. Trust the moment. And let me, since I'm doing a lot of talking, just take a deep breath. Let me listen for any other channeled messages. Yeah, they just keep saying, well, now is always, they always say now is the time. So I don't put a lot of stock in that because now is always the time. Like it's always happening in the now, right? Keep focused on the now. Don't be pulled back because Mercury retrograde could take you into the right reflective, like back 32 years ago when I started a capital group. I was on the phone, right? You could be taken back and it's like, stay here, stay now, because apparently you're going to get this call to action and you have to be kind of present and surrendered to source to take full benefit from it. And if you're too far in the future, like, well, what if this doesn't work out? And what's going to happen after I take this action or meet this person? Or what am I going to do then? What's going to happen? Oh, whoa, hold on. Maybe I don't want to take action because I don't have the whole plan in front of me to move forward yet. And I'm speaking as if I'm you. I'm this person who likes to have things planned out in advance. I like to know where things are going. I like to be in control. This eclipse sandwich is going to be one where you have to surrender control a little bit, and here's why. if it's something between you and somebody else, even if it's something just between you, yourself, and you, this eclipse, these two eclipses are bringing in a lot of new energy. That means new timelines that are being birthed into reality that have only been way up here in the ethers up until now. This is like the things you've been dreaming into being for who knows how long, 4 years, 32 years, my whole entire life. And so now they get, that feels so good. They get to move down into the physical realm. But because they're still etheric in nature, it means, I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about. You may be like, I can't move forward on this plan because I don't know what's going to happen next after this thing happens, right? I take action towards somebody. Oh, my face, that was weird. I meet somebody new. Even the joining the gym example. I want to join the gym. Oh, but now what? The gym. Oh, now I got a new monthly payment. And maybe I'm not going to do it. Maybe the gym is where you're going to meet your forever person. Stop. So you have to be careful of putting yourself too far into the future. Even if you're like me and you like to know where everything goes. And the reason for that is the timelines don't fully form until an action is made or a decision is made. So you decide to move forward on something, especially if another person's involved. Let's say you're supposed to ask somebody out or something. I don't know. Let's give it an example. I've been admiring so-and-so for so long now. I feel like now's the time I move forward and introduce myself to that person. And then you get too far into the future. Oh, but what after I do? What if they don't like me? What do they do like me? And then what do I do next? Oh my God, I don't know. What's the next step on my plan? It's do I move towards them? Do I go visit? Do I see them? Do we go on a date? All these things are, and then you're like, what? You've missed out on the present moment. And the fact is, the timeline, you won't be able to, even if you're really clairvoyant and really like Oracle of Delphi, sometimes my guides are like, you're in your Oracle of Delphi energies. Even if you are the Oracle of Delphi, if the other person hasn't yet accepted your invite, your Page of Cups offer, or Knight of, you probably want to come in as a Knight. You're the Knight of Cups, hasn't accepted your offer. There's no timeline formed yet, right? Because the two people have to come together. The person has to say, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I really like you. I'm going to do my finger puppets. I really like you. Do you want to go out with me? And then person number 2 has to say, oh, hi. Oh, you're everything I've always dreamed of in my entire life. I would love to talk to you more. Bam. The things that are created by those words alone create the friggin' timeline that helps. That's what helps. That's what then gives you the way forward. You can't see it yet because it hasn't been formed yet, because the two puppets haven't committed to each other yet. And once they do, by those creation of those words, then the timeline forms. Then puppet number 1 can say, oh, wow, you really are interested in me too? Okay. Did my voices change? I'd like to come see you. Puppet number 2, I'd like to meet you and see you too. Dun, 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 the timeline forms, and then a plan is made, right? Oh, it's so good. You guys are so good. Okay, so I'm gonna, is there any last? They're like, oh my God, this is like a show gone wild. All right. Whew, let me just chill out for a second. Is there anything else between puppet 1 and 2, or anything else you want me to say? All right. So they're like, these are the energies of the eclipse sandwich. There's a lot to unpack here. I mean, you could probably listen to this several times, take some notes, pop into your own guides and your own mind, like your own intuitive senses, and pull out any metaphors I might have missed, because I've just been like totally channeling this whole thing. And then see where that takes you from there. I do feel like within the next 2 or 3 days, you're going to have this like stasis time where you're meant to kind of get still and quiet. And then, I mean, come on, we got an Aries fire total solar eclipse coming. You're already going to, after those 2-3 days of integration, you're already going to be starting to feel the other eclipse energy ramping up. So take that time for yourself to regroup. Just come back into balance and just be ready. Being ready to be ready. All right, friends, I love you all very much. I'm very excited that I'm here doing this work alongside you, and I will see you all again soon. Take care.